Dobsonville. Unfortunately, we were the last one to come to Dobsonville. We came to Dobsonville very late, 1967. We were the last to be removed, but it was a painful change. But what the Nationalist Party did, they erected in Block 7 and part of the center of Dobsonville shacks. They would move you from a house into a shack. Whilst you're staying in a shack which has got a toilet, water, build your house, and when your house is finished, they then move you into the house. But we who came in the 60s, late 60s, 65, 66, 67.
Can you imagine going out to school, coming back from school, there, when you come back, it's flat, there's nothing. Can you imagine that's what does it do to your mindset of a black guy? You know? So coming back, it's all about movements.
So please can we not patronize them?
Hello and welcome to another edition of Social Life. I am your host, Julile. With me today are two gentlemen from Dobsonville Heritage Foundation, and Tswaki Monageng and Sandile Ntwasa, who will be discussing the issues of land claims. Where you come from and what you do.
All right. We're talking from Greater Dobsonville Heritage Foundation. The reason we Dobsonville Heritage Dobsonville fell, but now we're looking at the whole Greater Dobsonville. We're talking about an area that is bordered by the Pretoria, Johannesburg, Randfontein, Krugersdorp municipalities. This whole area.
Okay.
That is why we're now including going downwards, the other areas, the whole of Soweto.
Also, it's not just...
that is why we're Greater Dobsonville Heritage. Then which is like, it was formed in 2012. It started as a land claims committee. So after more, then it's 2012, there was a public meeting, there was a burning issue. Now we need to form a foundation that is going to deal with heritage matters to the Greater Dobsonville. That is to research, document, tell, relate the heritage matters and preserving them for future generations. With the main vision to serve as a primary and resource, what do you call it? Point of resource, whereby all this youth and the future generation information document. Not only the old information, Roodepport West and then coming to Dobsonville, we also doing the current one as well. Because we believe even this one, our future generation should read about us, should read about social, should read about the life and times of Kele, what was he doing and all that, and then work along leading libraries and the school.
Ntate Ntwasa, tell us about the land distribution and restitution.
Thanks for having us in your show.
Thank you for
My name is Sandile Ntwasa. I'm one of the victims of being discriminated about the issues of land claims. When in 96 to 98, when land claims were opened, we were told that we don't qualify. It was because of the misinterpretation of the Act that it did not say only title deed owners. It says forcibly removed. So Dobsonville, we came to Dobsonville, were forcibly removed from Julile, which was called a station called Roodepport West, west of Roodepport CBD. We came to Dobsonville. Unfortunately, we were the last one to come to Dobsonville. We came to Dobsonville very late, 1967. we were the last to be removed, but it was a painful journey.
So, Kikupafela, just take you back, the whole experience. So, what exactly happened? You come home, you've been, the houses have been demolished. So, are you then moved directly to Dobsonville?
During your absence, the families moved to Dobsonville.
Wow.
Then you come home, you have to come to Dobsonville. There was a Patco bus operating between Roodepport West Station to Dobsonville. You come. Now, because already when people were moved to Dobsonville, you couldn't go to the lower side of Dobsonville. You could think that probably our families are somewhere in Longtail. So we have to select which side of Longtail. Ask people, then you will be told, your household has been allocated at a certain portion, so go there, and that is your home.
And during this allocation, are there already houses standing where people are now moved to?
With Longtail, fortunately, the houses were standing.
Yes.
But Block 7, the lower part of Dobsonville, some of the houses were standing. But what the Nationalist Party did, they erected in Block 7 and part of the center of Dobsonville shacks. They would move you from a house into a shack. Whilst you're staying in a shack which has got a toilet, water, build your house, and when your house is finished, they then move you into the house. But we who came in the 60s, late 60s, 65, 66, 67, we found this construction company. Why is it called Longtail? The construction company was Longtail. That's how we are in Longtail. Yes, part of Block 7. But Block 7, most of the township people were housed in shacks. But then Dobsonville, it was better because we were homogeneous in Roodepport West. But when we came here after 10 years, then Dobsonville was separated. That Kuni is one side. On the right-hand side from Dinginlesi, it's the Tswana area. On the left side, it's Nguni.
So as if that is not, it wasn't hard enough or painful enough to be moved from where you lived, and now you still had to be separated and segregated amongst each other.
And the worst part that some people had renovated their houses, cemented their houses, they'd done renovations. Suddenly you are told you're closer, you're not supposed to be this side, go to the other side. They exchanged, they took decision without asking which way do you want to go, where do you want to stay. They just said, house so and so, go to the house so so. You house so and go to exchange, that's all, by force. But they provided a tractor with a trailer to move us from Roodepport to here. But unfortunately, the restitution or distribution has not happened because we're still waiting. We're hoping that one day, but maybe by the time they pay my relatives, I'll be dead. We're not sure.
And that's also the unfortunate part, that people have been waiting for the longest time, and some won't even see justice.
They have not seen justice. They've died, some of them. Most of the people that applied with us, most of them. It's only a few, but however, the extended family, like I'm a descendant, I'm a child. I was not forcibly removed, but it was my parents who were moved to Dobsonville. But we are not hopeful. We don't lose hope that one day government will see fit to reimburse or pay us something, at least as compensation for being moved. We're not sure.
Take us through the process when claiming the land. What are the documents required besides the permit? Now, in an instance, if the parents are both dead and the kids don't have any permit, the house permits, to say that we, the rightful owners of such and such a land, how do you go about claiming?
In 2013, fortunately, President Zuma opened reopening of land claims. After we failed in 2005 attending the land summit, that government by then under the Shulua Mbeki Tokotitiza said, no, you won't reopen for land claims again. But fortunately, they were reopened 2013. 2014, we applied. I have a reference number, and we were supposed to have been paid by now. It was open for 5 years. Unfortunately, the organizations took the government to task, and the matter was referred to the Constitutional Court. Government was told that they must amend the act and stop application for new claimants. But those that had submitted claims between 2014 to 2016, the claims are valid. We've been waiting. The false hope or the false promise that we are going to get compensated. There was a time where at the office, not now, where you go to the office if you are not sure that house number so and so. My mother's permit says we're removed from number 41 to 4196. So we are fortunate we had permits. But those who did not have permits, to guess that I understand I was next to a certain family, then you must go and research and find out from that family what was the house number in Roodepport. It's a requirement that the house number. Then the family tree. How many were you? If your brothers or your family, some of them are deceased, then you must include their children into in the family tree so that they would qualify on behalf of their father, not because they were removed. They qualify because of
their parents.
Of my brother. I qualify because of my mother. And those, I'm the only, we are two at home. It's no more than myself. In the event that I die, my children will then get my portion. They'll have to divide 30,000 amongst themselves. Because no one they will get 30,000. I'll get 30,000. But my brother's kids would get a share, which will be lesser than what we got, because we are descendants of the people who were moved from Roodepport.
So Julile. The amount that is being paid, that's per household, not per individual that was living in the household.
That's it. And you have to divide it. Among themselves. My brother kids are 2, so they'll have to divide the 15,000 among themselves. But there was a lot of corruption in 1998 when people were paid, because they would give the money to me, and then I would not pass the money to my siblings or whoever, my brothers or sisters. I'll end up taking the money because I submitted a claim. That's what happened in 1998. But the government, when they came, they said no. After some time, they decided no. Among the family members, each and every family members must have a bank account. They would then give you a check. They issued checks before 98. Now what they need is a bank account where they'll have to deposit money into a bank if it will ever happen. Now sometimes you get people who claim to have, we know of family in Dobsonville who money was given to tenants. Well, the real owners of that house were disapproved because they said, no, we've already paid for that house. This was a tenant who claimed their number. One of them is Mahajani. Leleki Mohajan.
Yeah.
But the others I won't mention.
Yeah.
Or I must get their permission.
Yeah.
But Leleki, I know he was not happy that whatever. And people fought. They tried, but anyway, our government tends a silent ear to your problems. That's how. So you do that, and after some time, they'll then send this certificate I've got that, yes, you are the claimant. We'll see what to do.
Can one actually, I mean, if you are the rightful descendant to the land and get your claim, what's the word?
Approved.
No. Disqualified because they cannot trace
your history
or
that correct or verify that information.
If it cannot be verified, can you still claim and say, no, I am a particular person, and try and trace other people that were part of the community?
You can, but it's a different situation where you'll have to get lawyers on your behalf to represent you. Because among some of, like Tamim Ntwasa, I think he did law.
Yeah.
But at least Tamim Ntwasa was one of the only, I think Tamim Ntwasa should have been the minister. We've gone through the ministers of this land affairs thing. To me, all of them have failed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And the land commissioner, who was Dr. Tozi Gwanya, told us exactly that his hands are tied. This is a parliamentary issue. There's nothing, we can't talk to him. We complained, we had meetings, we've got records of meetings we had with the department, with the Tozi Gwanya, who was then, before this Kobodo. Then, fortunately, because the commissioner could not meet us, we were met by Tamim Ntwasa, who was a deputy commissioner. We still have problems about land issues, but the muscle.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. Now you got people saying maybe you were paid, you have allegations that what is happening, you should have benefited. But also the people who got paid were very anti-us. People were not paid, that no, you don't deserve it. There are quite a number of people in Dobsonville who felt that we were not forcibly removed. I don't know where they get that narrative, but there are people who think that no, you were illegal dwellers, whatever. There are two houses that I grew up in. Number 41, that's where I was born, Raburifi Street. Number 54 was a house that was allocated, a bigger house, to the Siripes family. They left in 1954. We were then transferred to number 90 because we were a bigger family to that house, number 54, Raburifi Street, until 1957. So we have gone through these bitter situations as siblings of our parents. It's a dream. We don't have the muscle to push government to court so that they could comply with the constitutional right that they were instructed by the constitutional court that they must start paying after they paid the 1998 claimants. Our former secretary, the Mkine families, got compensated. Since 98, they got paid he was already deceased, Mutsumi Mukine. The family inherited and shared whatever they had. Now, we still wait. He was with us when we renamed the Greater Dobsonville from Land Claims Committee.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. And Tate Monageng, you mentioned this is not just land claims, but it also, go ruta bana about where, or rather sichaba, kaofela, ka the whole heritage rather, gore go tswa kae, go ya go iwa kae. The involvement ya youth within the organization.
Our youth is ignorant when it comes to heritage matters. Is it because of us as not putting out the message through or what? But we believe we went an extra mile because we also have our Facebook page. We try left, right, and center to ensure that the history is put out there. We have a wall at the Roodepport Museum. We also want to have that wall that has the whole history of Dobsonville from Roodepport, you know, how people were being removed, when, for what good solid reason, all that kind of history, we have that. But we still have to hammer more deep into the communities of the schools. Like for instance, we do have a little wall that we did with Forte High School. So we need to hammer it into all the other schools. You see, some of the schools take, for instance, PJ Simelane.
Yes.
Who is PJ Simelane? Our youth doesn't know who PJ Simelane is. He's from Roodepport West. He was a mine worker, you see, out of doing whatever he did from the mine, working hard, he actually took that money and took himself to school. He ended up being a teacher and then went on to become a school principal. He was a music composer as well. You see, as a result, he ended up being a school inspector. Hence, we have a school named after P.J. Simelane. We have a school named after Dr. Mary Malatlel, who is actually the first female black to qualify as a medical doctor in South Africa. You see? But now no one says a word about it. The Greater Dobsonville Heritage Foundation did manage to, together with the Faculty of Science at Wits, to put up a plaque in honor of Dr. Mary Malatlel. You see? We managed to put up a plaque at the Julile Cemetery because that is the only surviving landmark in that area. You know, there's a graveyard in Horison. Yeah. It is now called Horizon View Graveyard. It is actually graveyard, it's a Julile graveyard. The location that we're talking about, it was called Julile. That was demolished in under the 1954 Group Areas Act. You see? So the demolition and the movement of people by force started in 1956 to 1967. Yeah. So the whole community was wiped out. So the only the remaining landmark and stark reminder of the painful removal of the Julile community. Mr. Ntwasa actually comes from Julile. He knows exactly what we're talking about. He's actually one of the victims who suffered. Can you imagine going out to school, coming back from school, when you come back, it's flat. There's nothing. Can you imagine that's what does it do to your mindset of a black child? You know? So coming back to Dobsonville, the first school that was built, it was Roodepport, which as the foundation, we managed to put up a blue plaque to honor, to declare Roodepport a heritage site. Because that is the first school that has produced, we're talking about lawyers, doctors, scientists, you name them. Dr. Matsike, for starters, the founder of Clinics Group, started school at Roodepport, attended school at Roodepport, you know. We're talking about Professor Zex Mukta, one of the world-renowned writers. He's from Roodepport. Bodi Papang, the greatest actors on our screens, they come from Roodepport. Professor Mapunya, who is now at UNISA, is from Roodepport, you see. So the school has got weight. It's not only Roodepport, or there are other landmarks. We're talking about George Khoza, which was Tsholofelo Ntle before. It wasn't called George Khoza. You see, our youth need to know such things.
No, I'm being schooled.
Yes.
It's a whole history lesson for me. Yeah.
Let me check in. The unfortunate part, member, about the Heritage Land Claims Committee,
yes,
we are put as heritage, is that wherever we go, people want to know, those who are still alive, when are we getting paid?
Yes.
When are we? It's a thorn, it's painful that you have to explain that we must phone Pretoria, but we are not getting any joy to the land claims institution.
Yeah.
No, they're not bothered. They're getting paid, they're doing it, The only person who helped us much was a deputy commissioner,
Yeah.
Tswaki Monageng, who used, when we called, so that people must not take the word from us
Yeah.
only,
True.
an official who used to come to at the Kopanong Hall. It was cheaper to hire then. It is not today, it's about 1,500. By then we were hiring the hall at 400, 200.
Yeah.
He used to come and address us. He was strongly opposed to the Ngonyama Trust. He was so passionate about Tswaki Monageng, so should have been the Minister of Land, according to our thinking,
Yeah.
because at least he was hands-on.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when his term, the term of the then land commissioner expired, because he was a deputy, he also had to leave. Now we've got a new commissioner we've never heard of, and a deputy minister we've never, including the minister.
So you're basically having to start afresh and explain yourselves and have to
Again and
wait.
again. Again and again.
It's like reliving the whole trauma each time.
And we, from time to time, when a family, siblings, children approach us, say, I see this document.
Yeah.
What is it? No, let's go to Pretoria and change so that this document should be registered in one of you, because your mother is no longer there.
Yeah.
Your parents are no longer there. You are now the people that they must correspond with. But the government has not even taken efforts to come and check whether we still, or come and address us and tell us what's the position after the Constitutional Court. We're just in darkness. But as an NPO, very difficult when we have to pop money from our own pockets, because we're scared to ask people for money.
Yeah.
Tomorrow they will say you've taken money for land issue. And what is 60,000 per household? Government, the money is returned to Treasury. Government has failed to disburse or pay people. Western Cape were able to be compensated, or they will be able to be taken back to District 6 because they have the muscle of with the University of the Western Cape. In Joburg, were lost with nowhere.
Just to chip in Lapo Tatane, we had a public meeting whereby, like the guys abavela into our documents, Sebenzi Nabo,
Yes.
Lamosa, which is Land Access Movement of South Africa. They are one of the guys by Longkhure. They are fighting tooth and nail. They are pushing.
Yeah.
They actually came. We called a public meeting strictly about this land restitution and land redistribution, so that Lamosa could come at least. Not it's kind of Rona Fela. We had another organization that should chip in and say, guys, this is what is happening in terms of the land claims, in terms of the land restitution and distribution. These are the ways and means. These are the routes you must follow. If this is not happening, this is where you should go.
Yeah.
But now, unfortunately, Ikopanong takes about the capacity of how many people?
300.
300 to 400, 400 max. But you find that, look at the community of Dobsonville, how many houses have we got?
Yeah.
But to call a public meeting like that and actually even announce it on radio so that people should come.
Yes.
But you find that more alone you've got 150 people in the whole township at Dobsonville. That is a problem on its own. Our people don't follow. But now, look at other areas. The organizations like Bo Alliance for Rural Democracy go out there in the rural areas. When there's a meeting, they meet with the chief. The whole community is there to listen to what is happening about their land issues. So it's not only about rural settlement and development, even the urban ones. How many households, how many lodgers lodgers permits. We had lodgers permits before. Hona number two are just sitting in the backyards of everyone. So every Tom, Dick and Harry comes in, there is no follow-up. We no longer have inspectors. Those would come and actually look at your house, look at your way of living, check how many people. The only one that does that is the census counting. How many are you in? But yet before we had inspectors. So this one of the problems to urban settlement is the overcrowding. So it becomes a problem.
However, you know, when we went to vet about Dr. Mary, the first woman to qualify as a medical, he's just an unsung hero. Nothing is mentioned about the first black woman to qualify as a medical doctor. The vets apologized to the siblings. We approached them, said we are approaching the president to honor her with. She was honored by President Zuma with a silver babab, in posthumously. Vets also, but it was very difficult. It was very. Now, can you an institution? We then proposed to the dean. Yes. He then refused to say, why don't you name this faculty after Dr. Mary? Yeah. They say, no, they don't believe in that. But 2 years after, we have Mahlangu's Hall. We have Robert Sobukwe. Yeah. It's not only about politicians soon. And telling you about the history of us. We Xhosas, our grandparents come from the Eastern Cape. Malvin Kopis, this was a Tswana area. That's why Magaliesberg is not Magaliesberg. It's Tabatsa Mogale. This was a Tswana. If you go to Melbourne, you'll see how people who were in the Transvaal, especially the Tswanas. This was Tswana. We Mafikizolo.
Would you say, Hore, we're losing
the history?
The history, slowly, bit by bit, and who we are and where we come from.
If you go to West Park Cemetery, from Melvin Park, across the road to the cemetery, that's where the history of Tswanas is. Under Wits University. If you go there, you have the history of Tswanas is told by white people without us, unfortunately. That's why we...
Unfortunately.